That was on.
Yep.
Hello, we're back. Woo! We finally found a week that we're not all sick. Wonderful. But no, really is good to be back playing again. Just usual stuff before we get into it. Tonight we're going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons. Next week we're going to be back to Pub Cthulhu, and we'll kind of keep that alternating game as we go. Obviously you'll see Finn's back. I know we're all technically just back, but Finn's also back for, and it will be his first game of D&D. So
a very
if he's
heavy
going to
hand.
but yeah, we don't know how he's getting dropped into the campaign. Probably just Halo dropped in again. Who knows? But hey, that's all the fun, and that's all to come. So Ian, over to you, mate.
Okay, so last time, probably have memories of it, but most of you had arrived back from escorting a caravan through the mountain range. On your way back to collect your reward, you stumbled across a dead body. The body had its eyes removed, throat slit. You eventually met up with Eleanor, the local sheriff, who'd asked you to look into the situation because previously a similar situation had expired and the person responsible for it had been executed. She was concerned that these may be copycat or something else. You headed off into the woods to find Fug, the sheriff who dealt with the original case. He ran into some strange spiders, molten lava-based spiders. Dispatched them, had a conversation with Fug, found out that the last time the victim was seen was in the Golden Fiddle with a known lady of the night. And you decided you were going to investigate. But before we get started, let's everybody go around and tell us about their character. Again, just to remind everybody. So we're going to start with you, Cammy. Tell us about your character.
Cool. So my character is a wizard. He's called Argel Cinderforge. Very, very slender build. With kind of facial features like almost effeminate. Like he's a high elf. Skin is almost like not white, but like it's kind of verging on very, very pale to very white. Hair kind of like a blonde with almost kind of like black and silver highlights, just kind of pulled all the way back, almost like slicked, kind of like just down to around about neck height. So it almost looks like constantly damp, but just almost never moves and stays in the same place. Rather than the kind of usual wizarding robes, they are still robes, but they're much more kind of like tighter fitted, and they kind of come off into almost like a big sort of V shape at the bottom, and they're kind of rich burgundy and lavender colour, kind of all intertwined, as well as having a couple of sigils from Master Maverick, I think it is, Marduk, sorry, who is the main wizard of the land that we stay in, because Argel's the apprentice.
Okay, so
And as an extra note as well, I should have probably added in, on the robes, there's a big massive pocket, where my little kind of like spectral owl just pretty much lives all the time. And for anyone who likes Pokemon, it looks exactly like Rowlet, just a little kind of chunky boy.
And again,
Here, stop with the Rowlet hate, man. Rowlet's cute as fuck.
haven't we told you that Pokemon's banned from this?
Oh, yeah, I will pull it in any way I can.
We don't want DMC it.
Yeah. So Colt, Mark, tell us about your character.
So Callum is a tiefling paladin who seems to be a little off, but you can't work out what it is. He's not done anything. Sorry, they've not done anything untoward or anything like that, but there is just something a little off about them. Their eyes are violet, with a deep, dark purple skin. So it's almost like one's like really dark for the skin and then bright, vibrant violet eyes. Doesn't have any hair. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so Doc, you want to tell us about your character?
Yes. I am Elkan Ridgewalker. I am a Goliath. I'm about 8'2" tall. I've got faintly glowing blue eyes. Tribal markings across my face and my chest. I wear mostly animal pelts, with a large bear pelt over my shoulders with its head hanging off my right shoulder. And across my back is a large grey axe. I didn't describe this last time, but I do have slightly pointed nails, and my canines in my mouth are jagged, enlarged compared to most Goliaths.
Excellent. And finally, Finn, let's discuss your character for the first time.
So my character is Dovu, is a...
Go and move your mic a
Okay.
bit closer. It's hard to hear you.
Is that Chief?
Yeah. It's a little bit quiet.
So
Yes.
my character is a Dovu. He is a small, kind of like 5'6", a Asian gentleman. Dark skin, is a bald with the exception of a very long ponytail at the back of his head. He's in a long white linens, which is quite ornately trimmed with the gold threads, and has a very thick belt around his waist. It's kind of occupying majority of his midriff, and there's a monk that carries a very large, kind of heavy iron staff.
Okay, so let's start off with you. You've been away for a good 2-3 weeks. You eventually just arrived back at your monastery in the mountain range. Now, your monastery building's a very strange building. It seems to be built into the cliffs and onto the cliffs. Things are built at strange angles. There's walkways between stalagmites and stalactites. It's all very disjointed and angled. Oh. So you eventually arrive back to your room. And, oh, sorry. Hang on. I'm playing with my earpods and it keeps flashing up saying there's a new audio device attached. But
Damn
So-
you, Apple!
yeah,
You know, we've not been here for numerous weeks, but we still get the technical issues.
well,
Yeah.
yes, brand new
That's the
computer
thing.
makes adds more technical difficulties.
We're nothing if not inconsistent.
Consistently inconsistent.
Your monastery building built these large, weird angles. You eventually arrive back. You can see the monastery building in front of you. As you enter into the temple, you can feel that calm air that permeates around the place. Now, it's been about 3-4 weeks since you've been here. What would you do now you're returning from this campaign, almost this escort guard duty you've been on? What was the first thing you would do when you got back?
I would go to see the Grand Master to relay him the information of the mission.
Okay, so you eventually head back. As you head further into the temple, you head into the Grand Master's office. You knock on the door, and the door slowly creeps open silently. Now, you can see inside the room. The room's empty. There's nobody there. And a young man walks up and he's like, hey, Dove, come with me. The Grandmaster is in his meditation room. Come with me.
I would follow him.
He starts leading you through the building and eventually takes you to a door in the very bottom of the building. As you head down multiple stairs, you get to the door, he chaps on the door, and he slowly opens it. And you can see into the room. This room's about 100 foot wide, but it's perfectly spherical. It's a large room that's hollowed out into a sphere. The only thing is a large podium stand in the middle. You can see the head of your order sitting there cross-legged in the middle of this sphere. He sits there and looks up and he kind of beckons. You can see almost like a path of glowing light comes out from the doorway to the center pillar. And he beckons you towards him. So you start making your way across this almost bridge of light towards him. He stands up. And it's strange because the minute you step over the threshold, there's not a single sound. Your feet don't make a sound. Your breathing doesn't make a sound. Absolutely silent. And as you come to the middle, he sits down. He gestures so you sit down. You sit down on the large wood pillar. And he looks up and he clicks his fingers, and the sound suddenly returns. You can hear your heartbeat. And he looks up. He's like, so how was your time away?
It was perplexing, Master. Apparently there have been some copycat murders down in the valley.
Yes, there was something happening in the city. I can feel it. You have friends within the town, don't you?
Yes, I met several individuals who seem very capable.
Good. Great. Now, tell me, what do you know of our temple and our order? Why did we build our temple here? Do you know?
I assumed it was in a remote location in order to abstract yourself from the worldly issues.
Partly. But have you ever noticed anything about the mountain pass?
It is rough and jagged and often treacherous.
It is, but also have you noticed that it runs perfectly north to south?
No, Master, that had not crossed my mind.
So the next time you walk the path, keep an eye on your compass. It never changes from north to south or south to north perfectly. This place is a nexus point of energies. It said once that there was an ancient godstone on this land, which no longer exists, but it's left an imprint. But I'm concerned that I can feel a darkness growing in the city. But I need you to go and have a look for me. Go and investigate what's going on inside the town and just have a feel and let me know what happened, what you think, or what you find. But I'd rather you did this a little bit discreetly. We don't want our order seeming like we're getting involved in public events.
As you wish, Master. I will be discreet in all manners possible.
Good. Now, go rest, clean yourself up, get yourself ready, and do what you need to do. But there is some kind of darkness growing in the town. Find its source and deal with it.
Yep, I would. Sleep. I'm not sure if sleep's the right one. But I would just bow to him respectfully and see about getting myself refreshed.
Okay, so the rest of yous, while that's happening, the rest of yous have just returned from the hills. Sorry. Ridgewalker, you're still carrying these spider corpses with you. You can hear the hissing of the acid and lava blood that they've got dripping onto the ground behind you. The constant tss, tss. Eleanor's just left you after telling you that the last person the victim had seen was Quintrell, and they were in the Golden Fiddle. So what he's doing.
Into the Golden Fiddle.
So you start making your way through the town. Are all three going to head there?
I think I'll meet you there. I've got business to take care of.
Okay.
Is this not a little more pressing?
Do you want me dragging spiders that are bleeding acid through town?
Not
I
particularly.
suppose you've got a point. Okay, guess it's just us then. We will meet you there.
Yes.
That's good.
Okay,
Let's go.
so the two of you head off towards the Golden Fiddle. You head through the town. You head up to the northern quarter. You probably know where the Golden Fiddle is. You have spent enough time in the town. But as you eventually arrive, you can see the building. It's a large 3-story building. Large pillars and columns outside. They're all covered with golden filigree. The whole building seems to be highly decorated. The doors are actually shaped like the body of a fiddle. They're slightly open. You can hear the music coming out. You can hear the revelry inside.
Just from the outside, Ian, does it look as if like anyone's sort of, I don't know, a little bit shifty, like keeping watch in any way, like not just immediately outside the door, but even just like from the surrounding buildings or whatever else might be there?
Roll my perception.
21.
21. As you look around, you can see there's a couple of guys standing in an alleyway across from the pub, keeping an eye on the door. One's got his finger up to his ear, and you can see his lips moving slightly.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to like just go into like the sort of the inside of my robes and pull out my spell book, just kind of open it up and then go. Sorry, Coles, what was your character called again? I totally forgot.
Howlin.
Sorry.
Hallam.
I'm going to walk up to it and go, have a look at this. This is quite interesting. And just when you kind of look down at the book, I believe we've been watched. Just across the street, there are two gentlemen in the alleyway. They seem to be looking at this token. Could be anything, but just so you know, glad to get rid of the book. Right. So, how do you want to proceed? Do you want to just go in, scout out the area?
I believe we've got 3 people to go and speak to first of all. Don't like surprises coming in.
That's
And
fine.
I'm making a straight line towards the gentlemen that were highlighted.
Okay, so as you head across these two gentlemen, they're standing in the alleyway. One's got his finger up to his ear. You can see his lips moving. And he looks up as you come across. He's like, "Hey, can I help you?"
Yes. Do you wish to explain why you're hanging around outside the pub?
Kind of looks you up and down and he's like, why would I need to explain myself to you?
Well, it's not exactly what you'd call normal behaviour now, is it?
Perfectly normal.
Now, not at all. If you wish to come in, by all means. If you're waiting on somebody coming out to then mug them, do them harm, kill them, we may have a problem on that one.
One of the guys kind of steps forward to you and leans in quite close and he's like, "We're not going to mug anybody." Right? And he kind of like opens his jacket and he's like, you can see there's kind of like a badge inside. He's like, "We're security.
Okay.
We like to make sure nobody gets mugged on their way out."
That's fine.
On hearing this conversation, it's like I've kind of stood back, I kind of woke up and, hello, interesting you say that. In the off, I assume this is your establishment, pointing towards the fiddle. If so, are you aware there's been a killer which has been staying within the building?
A what?
Apparently so. Again, this may not be the most up to date information, but just so you're aware, so we are investigating this right now. So just be on the lookout. That's why we've been a little bit more cautious in our approach.
We heard there was a murder last night, but what's that got to do here? It was nowhere near here. It was the other side of town.
Well, I mean, it might be the other side of town, but in the end of the day, you don't shit where you eat.
Absolutely.
So, given your security, like, we will not bother you. We've been asked to look into the matter. So just be vigilant for anyone who might be a little bit shifty coming and going, because we believe they could be using this establishment as sort of a refuge.
Okay, yeah. And you can see the other guy that's standing with him kind of like leans into his jacket pocket and pulls out a book and just starts writing down in the book and then closes it and puts it in his jacket.
Great.
I believe we head in.
By the way, Ian, did I have that right? Was it the guy that killed someone that was stayed here, or there was someone we had to talk to in here?
It was a victim.
Something that we had to talk to in there.
Fuck it. Do you know what? I've just...
It was the last place the victim was seen talking to a lady of the night.
Cool. Well, do you know what? I've just made security guys more vigilant. Who cares?
Yep. But you can see they're clearly, one of them's clearly taking notes in a notebook inside his jacket pocket. But as you walk in, you can see everything's extremely gilded with gold. There's silk laces on the walls hanging down. There's large cushions. There's a large bar. There's people smoking on hookahs and things like that. And bartender's like, gentlemen, how may I be of service? Would you like somewhere to sit?
We may do in a moment, but we're here to speak to somebody.
Oh, who are you here to speak to?
I believe one of your employees.
Oh, which one?
May well be.
Oh, are you looking for... What are you looking for? Are you looking for some drinks? Are you looking for some company? Are you looking for some company of the male variety or the female? Or what is
Wrong
it
species. Wrong species for me.
Oh, no, we can counter for your species. Don't you worry for that.
Well, let's get on to that in a little bit. We have more pressing concerns. Perhaps we will end up there. Who knows? We're here to speak to Sahon, but Barkand.
It's like, yes. 1 second, and he goes away and comes back with a large book, and he looks at it, and he's like, Saffron Burkand, yes, he was staying here. Haven't seen him in... he hasn't been back today or since... last time I seen him was yesterday afternoon.
Is this why you take notes, Cameron?
I did take notes.
No Sahorn you're looking for?
Is it no Sahorn?
No, that was the victim, you silly.
Oh, shit.
He's like, yes,
we're not playing in weeks. My notes are a little bit bad.
He's like, he's not been back since yesterday late evening.
Now, we understand he had a companion with him the last time he was here.
Yes, last time I was here, he was speaking to Quindril. He dealt with her services a few times.
Is she available just now?
And he's like, well, let me check. And he goes and lifts another book from behind the counter. And he's like, she's not due on for another 2 hours, but I could send someone to go and get her.
If you just care to tell us where she is, we will happily go to her.
It's like, well, she stays in the southern district. I'm not exactly sure where, but these people stay down there. But I'm not 100% sure. whereabout in the Southern District she stays. But she comes up here, she peddles her trade. Of course, the house gets a percentage. But I don't know exactly where she stays, but I know it's in the Southern District.
It might be of use for us to wait here anyway. Scope the place out a little bit.
Of course. Would you like a booth or something like that? Or
Yeah. I think that would be reasonable if it can be accommodated. Yes.
of course we can accommodate anything your pleasure requires. Come,
Just a
look,
seat and a couple of drinks for now, please. And I'll turn to Callum. This also works because in the end of the day, Ridgewalker needs to find his knows we're here. So two birds with one stone.
My kind barman.
and he's like, of course. He's like, yes. And he starts leading you across to this area in the corner where there's large cushions on the floor, so surrounded by silk drapes. And he's like, is this area okay for you, or do you require
We
something
see.
more private?
Can we see the front entrance from where we are?
If you were to open the curtains, then yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but the curtains make it kind of excluded.
Yeah. Is there a booth for that takes in the door to the back of the bar and the front door?
From what you can see, you can only see the front door. You can't see the back door. But yeah, definitely you could see the front door. You can also see from the front. You can see the stairs that lead upstairs. Large 3-story building. You've
Okay.
probably spent enough time in the city to know that the second floor is accommodation. The second floor is meeting rooms. Generally, when people are doing trade embargoes, they maybe either do it here or in the town manor, but they'll do it either here, and then the third floor is accommodation. But you can definitely get one. You can see the stairs and the front door.
And is there a seat like elsewhere around around the bar, like that wouldn't take in the front but would take in the back?
Yeah, there's seats at the bar, but you don't think any of them you'd be able to see the back door, like a back door into the building. You don't even know if there is actually a back door into the
Okay,
building.
cool.
But you can
Cool. I'll
definitely,
try to work it out.
for where you're sitting, where he takes you to, you can see the stairs that lead upstairs and the front door.
Yeah, I think this will do.
He's like, of
Yes.
course. He's like, of course. And what can I get you to drink? Drinks? Do you want something to inhale, or
Water is
Just
fine for now.
I'll have a white wine if you have it.
of course we have it, of course, not a problem. And it kind of puts his finger to his ear, and you can hear him whisper and something, and he's like, of course, if you need anything, just let us know, and we will deal with that. Of course. And a couple of minutes later, a scantily clad woman comes across carrying a tray with water and a white wine. She puts it down. She's like, anything else I can do for you?
Oh, fine for now, thank you.
Of course, of course. Now, while this is going on, Doc, where are you
Yes.
heading to?
I assume I would know somewhere that buys like animal pelts and things like that, or I would just be heading to the market to just try sell as much of these spiders as I can.
Yep, you definitely do. Roll me. Oh, what's it on D? Oh, it's been so long since I played D&D. Roll me. Give me a second. I have to look. It's been so long since I played D&D. But roll me. Just roll me a general intelligence roll.
Straight 16.
Straight 16. Okay, so yeah, you've dealt with selling creature body parts before. You know the people to go to. You eventually make your way down into the western quarter. It's nowhere near as nice as the quarter of the city. This is where generally like bar staff or shop staff or things like that live. It's okay. It's reasonable accommodation, and you eventually find a gentleman that you know, a Isaac, who deals in bizarre meats and almost like he almost deals in kebabs, right? And so he kind of looks, and you've sold quite a lot of animals to him before, and he kind of looks up and he's like, how's my favorite supplier doing?
I just look over both shoulders and go, no idea, but I've got stuff to sell here for you.
Looks and he's like, what's the meat like?
Probably tastes like piss.
Well, piss is better than shit, isn't it?
Depends on how hungry you are.
Well, it's like, how many you got?
I think I got 3, didn't I?
Yep, you got 3.
Yeah.
Looks up and he's like, what are you doing with the carapace or whatever they call it, the outer shell?
Included in the price.
Oh well, if that's the case, I'll give you 5 silver each.
Blood does make good grill cleaner. Make it 10.
Make a
Persuasion.
persuasion, yeah. Make a persuasion.
Which is amazing because I've got -1 in it. 14.
It's like 7.
Deal.
Okay, so he leans down, he like pulls down, he's like, so 3, that's 14.
I may be big, but I'm not stupid.
Oh, okay, fair enough. And he puts another 7 down, he's like, 21 silver, okay.
Done deal.
It's like, these are mole spiders. How the hell did you kill these?
Had some friends. Nasty
Well-
little bastards.
It's like, well, how about this? You give me 7. Okay. I'll sell the carapace to a friend of mine. Who deals in strange creature hides. And I'll give you back 21 once I sell them in a week's time when he's passing through.
How long have I known this guy? Like, quite a while?
Yeah, probably quite a while, yeah. You've probably sold him quite a lot of animals in the time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Excellent. Well, because I've got a friend coming into town next week, and the carapace, they're okay. They're good for some miners when, like, if they hit like lava veins or things like that. The carapaces make good armor and protection against lava. So he'll buy them and the carapaces, and we'll make some profit.
Sounds good. I'll be back in a week.
Okay. So in the back of the weekend, I'll give you another 21.
Any rat meat kebabs?
Oh, well, I've always got rat meat. Yeah.
I'll take 3. I'll give some of my friends too.
He starts pulling out this bread and throwing some rat meat in, and he's like, "You want a spicy sauce and mayonnaise?
Go for 2 spicy, 1 mayo.
Okay." And he starts coming up. He's like, "Salad?
Nah, fuck that shit.
Okay, great. You don't want friends with salad."
No.
So he hands you over the 3 kebabs all wrapped up, and he's like, okay, great. We'll call them on the house because we've got a deal going ahead.
I'll drop 2 silver on the counter anyway.
The second they hit the counter, they're gone in his pocket. And he's like, great, there's kebabs. 2 spicy, 1 mayo. I'll write on the mayo one. And he writes on the paper that it's wrapped in.
Cool. Till next week.
Great. I gotta go make some like calls now. He's like, yeah, but you have a good day.
Calls.
I hope you enjoy that.
And now head to the Golden Fiddle with Endurals.
Walkmans are a thing in this area of the mountain range.
Sending stones, mate. Everybody's got them. Other than your age.
By the way, Ian, do you know what I forgot to ask you when we were sitting down, seeing the wait for Ridgewalker? Could I take a short rest?
Yes, you can, 'cause it takes a good half hour for hour for him before he even turns up. Now, Finn, what are you doing once you've had some time to clean yourself up after you're traveling? Are you heading into town?
Yep, I would. I make sure for one thing I've got a compass because I'm interested to see about these kind of natural formations now. I'd also see if I could get like myself a kind of a heavy overcloak, just so I'm quote unquote less conspicuous.
So yeah, definitely you can get yourself a heavy overcoat. You've probably got one kicking around in your room. The weather here occasionally gets quite cold, especially quite high up. It drops to minus ridiculous amounts because you're high up in the mountain range. I'm sure you've got quite a nice overcoat. And finding a compass is not hard in the monastery. But yeah, generally as you head towards the town, you arrive back in town. It's a nice day. The direction the monastery heads is into the north section of the town, which is the more expensive area of town. This is generally, you can see as you head into the building, all the buildings are gilded. You can see there's the Golden Fiddle, there's the town clerk's building, there's a bank, there's a city hall, there's also a building that's all about meeting rooms. This town is the only area with 100 miles to each side of this is the only place that there is any kind of commerce for 100 miles each way. People use this town for meetings to talk about trade routes, about traveling caravans across the mountain range from the north to the south or from the south to the north. So there's a lot of money passes through this town. It is the only way across the mountain range. But as you start heading towards it, make a perception roll. Give me 1 second, guys.
Yep.
Sounds like his doorbell went.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or it's Jenny up the stairs with the bell ringing out for his service.
Man servant.
Oi!
Garçon, where is my tea?
Connor is literally sitting right there watching.
Okay.
Annoyingly, since it's a D20 system rather than a D100, we can't get the crit of 69 now. Thanks.
If anyone ever achieves 69 damage on an attack, it's an insta kill. If you don't wake up with me, those are the rules.
Okay. So I'm back.
As
So
long as it doesn't do anything inappropriate on the stream.
Of course, this is a wholesome, entirely adult, family-friendly channel.
so Finn, as you're heading into town, you can see a very familiar figure. Stands out quite a lot in the middle of the town compared to everybody else. He's standing a good 2 meters. He's very tall, and you can see the form of a Ridgewalker walking up the middle of the town towards you. You've probably worked a few times on caravans with him. He seems to be carrying these 3 paper wraps in his hands, and you can. It's even before you can get close to him, you can actually smell the spice, the strange meaty smell coming from whatever he's carrying. You can see him in front of you.
Ridgewalker, what the devil do you have there?
What's up, little man? Kebabs.
You know those are made of, right?
These ones are rat.
And you're happy to eat that?
I've had worse. You want to try a bit?
No, I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, come on.
No, off your carrot.
It's not so bad. You didn't kill them. I knew I should have got salad on them.
Yes, salad is always better. This is weird for me. as a person that's a raging carnivore, this is a really weird to play vegetarian.
What are you up to?
Just taking and investigating the occurrences.
Oh, you're investigating as well? I've been promoted to detective. I'm investigating a murder.
Congratulations on your elevation and position.
I've not really been promoted. I don't work for the police. You want to help?
Yes, two heads are better than one, I hear.
So we found a body, had no eyes, and now we're going to the Golden Fiddle to talk to someone who's seen the victim last. Elf Boy and Purple Guy is with us.
I believe they're called a tiefling.
If you say so. Think it's a boy? Is the elf a boy?
Yes, you can tell the eyebrows.
Funny joke, huh? This way.
Of course, lead the way.
So the other two, you see the large Goliath friend and your monk that you've had acquaintances with enter into the Golden Fiddle. The bartender runs up and the compere kind runs up and he's like, "Hey, sir, you can't bring that food into here.
How much do you weigh?
Oh, 80 pounds.
Yeah, you're not going to stop me, so fuck off.
At that point, I'm just going to walk up behind and go, "Oh no, it's okay. He's with us." And I'm going to put my hand on the person who said that and cast friends.
And he looks up and he's like, "Oh, well, you know, a friend of a patron. Oh, of course, yes, of course. Come this way, sir. Sir, would you like a drink?" He looks at you. Storm Merchant, he's like, "Would you like a drink?"
Do you sell wine?
Of course we sell wine.
Yeah, then no.
We sell ale.
Pass.
sell.
Where's my friends?
Your friends are over here. Of course they're over here, sir.
I'm gonna walk right past them and go to the table and sit down, and then hand them a rat meat kebab.
Nice to see you too, Ridgewalker. And I'll obviously, because I'm still standing up. And what's your character called again?
Devul.
Devul. Got it. Nice to see you again, Devul.
Pleasure.
Elf Boy, you look like you don't like spicy, so this one's for you. And Purple Guy, there's a spicy one for you.
Too cooked for me.
Hmm?
It's not squeaking anymore.
That's fair, but at least it'll fill your stomach.
There is that. I suppose it'll do in a pinch. Thank you.
I appreciate the thoughts, Ridgewalker. But I'm not hungry. But thank you. You can have mine.
Don't remember asking. You've just been in a fight. You're a little injured. Eat the fucking food.
Well, I'll reach over and start like cutlery on the table.
There's not at the moment. The only thing that's on the table is the wine, the white wine, and the water, and a hookah.
Right. Okay. Hold on, Ridgewalker, I'm going to go get a knife and fork, and I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to find a person that I cast friends on. Are they still around?
The second you stand up, this gentleman's standing suddenly next to you, and he's like, "Oh, sir, how can I help you?"
I was looking for some knife and fork, but could you please come
course.
this way? And I'm gonna sort of lead them over. Do you mind? Well, from one friend to another. Do you mind if I ask you a quick question?
Of course.
Ian, just while this is going on, he's got his back to the table, doesn't he? He's
Yep.
just buggered off.
Yep.
That's fine. His kebab's not going to be there when he gets back.
Fine, I'm
He didn't want to anyway.
Gentleman turns around, he's like, sir, do you want something better to eat than that?
honestly, I'm okay. I'm not very hungry. The wine has filled me up substantially. But no, back to what I was saying. From one friend to another, we've already stated we were looking for an acquaintance of ours, Quindra, just about a matter that we're looking into. And I just wondered if you had any, I don't know, more information about Quindra, like from one friend to another. Have they been, I don't know, acting a little bit strange, or is there anything more you can tell me other than the fact that they work here? Like, just a little bit of gossip.
Well,
I don't know why I went up here. I'm like a little bit of gossip.
It's like, well, she's a woman. She's a woman of. Well, what's the way to put it? Between friends, she's a woman who has
Or-
many skills. Right? That a lot of her male friends like to buy time with her.
I know that she's empowered. What can I say?
Of
we get
course,
them
of
all.
course. Yes, absolutely. The word you could use is empowered, but what I would use was the word of horror rather than empowered.
Fair enough. But I think what I'm looking for is just a little bit more, a little bit gossip on them if they're doing anything. I mean, do you know if they've been staying here? Could I perhaps get a look at their room if they have been?
Oh no! She doesn't stay here. She stays in the south quarter. She comes in, but there is a room that we use for, well, that they use for copulation.
That would be so good to look at. Would you be able to give me the keys?
Of course, I would be able to give you the keys. Now, come this way.
Thank you.
And he
Thank you so much.
He kind of wraps his arm in yours, and he kind of leads you to the stairs, and he starts walking up the stairs, and he's like, "So, now this is the room that one of the rooms that we have for extracurricular activities." Now, this is the one that Quintel uses the most. But would you like to view? And she pulls out herself keys and starts looking for the keys. Would you like to view the inside of the room?
Privately, if that's okay.
Privately, are you sure?
I'm absolutely positive. Am I out of eye shot of the others?
Yes, you're definitely out there. Sure, he's kind of led you up the stairs, and he kind of like strokes your arm. He kind of like puts his arm around you across your back. He strokes your other arm from the other side of him. He's like,
What was that spell you cast on him?
Friends.
Pretty sure there's a song in Toy Story about what's going to happen.
And he kind of strokes your arm, and he's like, "Are you sure you'd like to view it privately?"
I'm sure, but hold on a second. I'm just going to sort of like break away, and I'm going to just tap Oxley. For anyone watching, I do not remember the name of my owl, but I think he's called Oxley, so we're going with that. I'm like, Oxley, go get the others. And I'm going to get Oxley just fly down and kind of land on the table and just sort of be like up towards the stairs.
Grab my kebab and slam it on top of the owl. No, I'm joking.
And he kind of strokes your arm, and he's like, "Are you sure?" And he leans around and he unlocks the door and swings the door open, and you can see in the room's like got a large 4-poster bed with silk sheets and things like that. And he kind of like, leans to bow. He's like, "You may enter."
Before you continue on, the rest of us, as players with knowledge of this happening, are we all in agreement that we're leaving Cammy completely to do this by himself here?
Yes.
We've got a situation.
God, God, man, this is not the message that we want to be sending. Right. Okay. Yeah. Could you? Do you know? I don't even believe I remember. What was your name? Sorry, that's totally slipped my head.
My name's Ivan.
Ivan. Could you do me a favor, please? Would you be able to go downstairs, like, and just rustle up some wine? Don't bring it up here. Fuck, I just fucked it.
He kind of leans forward and strokes your face, and he's like, "It's okay. There's wine in the room."
Right.
And as he kind of swings the door open, and you can look into the room, you can see there's a large poster bed. As you kind of scan further around the room, you can see there's like what looks almost like the only way you could say it would be there's a sex swing hanging from the like next side of the room. Then next there's a mini bar, and he's like, "Are you
Last time I
sure?"
ever cast this fucking spell.
And
On
he
this
kind of
campaign.
strokes your face, and he's like, "Are you sure? You want
Yes,
to
I'm sure.
investigate
Now,
the room by yourself?"
yes, I just want a little 2-minute look around. Would you be able to go down and tell my friends at the table that I'm up here, like, and I'm in Quinjo's room, if that would be okay?
It's like,
Would you do that for me, please?
he kind of steps back and looks at you, and he looks at you, and he's like, "You want to include your friends?"
No, that's not what I mean. Like, why is this? Like, this is blowing my mind right now. Like,
Let me get my saxophone and play some smooth jazz.
I'm sorry, something's come up. I've got to go. I cast invisibility.
Okay. And he's standing there, he's looking around, he's like looking around the room, and he's like, where, what? And he kind of like starts putting his hands out and feeling around.
No,
Stuff
I
like
cannot slowly walk.
Come out, wherever you are.
And I'm gonna like, can I make a quick or would just passive perception do this scene? Like, just looking around to see if I can find a little knack, just to kind of like pick up and throw behind him, just so it sounds like noise.
Yep. Definitely. What's your passive perception?
14.
Okay. So yeah, definitely with that, you kind of looks around, and he's like, "Oh, where has he gone?" He turns around and starts heading back down the way he came up. Sorry, excuse
Well,
me.
I'm just gonna keep my invisibility up. That was horrifying. And I mean, you've already kind of described it. It's almost like the fucking Red Room from what's that called again? 50 Shades of Grey. But would I be able to just do a quick casing of the room, like, just for anything I can find, like drawers, like under the bed? Fuck, do I want to look under the bed? Do you know what I look under the bed? Like, just anywhere to see if I can pull up any information on Quindro, or, like, I don't know, anything.
Yep, definitely. Roll me a investigation.
Nat 19 plus 7, 26.
26. So as you're looking around the room, you notice strangely under the bed what looks like a bit of paper. It looks like it's ripped.
Condom wrapper.
It does look like it's ripped, and it's.
Ian, man, what? Like, come on, man, this is.
It's not what I was going to, but it's all I can think about now.
This is my first session here.
Pull out a fucking used.
But no,
You pull out a used body from under this bed. I swear to God, man.
you do find a bit of paper that seems to be ripped up, and it says something crypt.
Sorry.
The paper seems to have been ripped in half, and half is missing, but the other half's there, and it says something crypt. Okay, but you can't tell what kind of crypt or what crypt or whatever it is, because it's just the word crypt. But you can see almost like someone's ripped a sentence in half. It's stuffed down in the bed. It's almost as though like it come out of someone's trousers in the heat of passion. It's like down on the ground, right next to one of the legs of the bed, stuffed up. But yeah, it does say something crypt. But the something's been ripped off.
Cool. Right. On that, assuming I can find nothing else in the room with that 26 that's worth taking.
Looking around the room, apart from that, there's plenty of things worth taking. If you decide they're worth taking, there's things, as you can see on the wall, like one of the walls, there's ball gags, there's riding crops, there's
No, I'm all right,
paddles,
man.
there is like restraint clamps, there is straddle-based leg cuffs and arm cuffs. There is a whole wall of SMB worth equipment on the wall. But generally, apart from that, the room seems generally reusable, depending on who's busy that evening.
Okay, fair enough. Well, with that, then I'll take the little piece of paper that I've got, and kind of like walk back downstairs. Just so I know, Ian, before I get to the next bit, are you want to take a break there, or are you want me to run through this bit first?
It's up to you guys. I'm absolutely fine.
Do you want to do it now? Do you want to take the break now, just with me kind of coming downstairs to talk to you guys?
Yep, so as you head downstairs eventually, yep, that's great. The other guy's a bartender standing there, this gentleman, he's in a nice, almost like three-piece suit, and he's standing like, "Hi, gentlemen, can I get you anything?"
Some more water, please.
More water for it, sir. Sir, would you like a sparkling or spring?
Just water, please.
I'll go for spring and juice, sir. And he looks at you, was it? Sorry. Names are eluding me at the moment.
Deville.
He looks at you, Edward. He's like, "Sorry, would you like an ale or would you like a wine or?"
I shall take the water and try not to try the sparkling.
Of course, sir. And you, sir?
Nope.
No, you don't want anything, sir?
Nope.
Sir, we've got a great bit of spice at the moment. If you'd like to try that.
You ever heard the term customer's always right?
Of course I have, and this establishment we believe in that, but we also believe the customer doesn't know what they want.
You call me an idiot?
No, we believe you don't know what you want until we can supply it. Till you understand we can supply anything.
Sounds like you were calling me an idiot.
No, sir. I am saying that we can supply your heart's desires.
My kind sir, I suggest you walk away now while you still can. You're starting to irritate him, and trust me, the last person that did that hasn't come out of the first aid section.
And you can kind of see at that point the gentleman bows and kind of starts walking back and through the velvet curtains that are around you and silk curtains and kind of moves further back out the way and vanishes.
Can I pop my head out and just watch him as he walks away and just stare at him?
Yeah, as you're staring at him, he kind of seems like you can see he kind of looks back over his shoulder and you kind of see he's extremely nervous. Maybe an intimidation roll.
I'm not trying to intimidate him. I watch where he goes.
It heads towards the bar. It kind of stands behind the bar, and you can see like it pulls out this jug of water filled with ice and starts filling a nice glass. And it gets a tray out and it starts filling it with a Dill's drink and things like that. And he kind of keeps looking over towards you. And he looks up
Smile and wave.
and he kind of gives that really unnerving, like kind of like hand comes up and it kind of waves back. And he kind of like puts his hand back down, and he kind of
I'll pop back in the cut and go, anyone else feel this place is a bit fucking weird?
The elf seems to enjoy it.
They're all a bit, like, overbearing.
Yes. It's a typical human establishment.
The desires of flesh are strong, and this is merely a place that adheres to it.
Yeah, sucks. Where the fuck is the elf?
He went upstairs with one of the gentlemen of this place.
Oh, didn't know he was into that.
Well, takes all kinds.
Fair enough.
On that note, I would come in, but I'm assuming we're going to wait.
well, at
I
that
thought
point,
you'd already come.
At that point, you see the gentleman kind of coming downstairs by himself, who'd went upstairs with your elf, but no sign of your elf.
Because he's still fucking invisible.
And
I'm just on the sex swing myself. Like, what?
rubbing one out.
Push me, daddy.
Investigate the place I'm on after all. So taking a break there.
Yeah.
Is that Connor or Susie?
That's Connor, who is listening to the live Twitch stream.
Oh boy.
Okay. Well, I think it's time for a break.
The gold shower.
Sorry, did you say cold or gold? Because I'm pretty sure this establishment can sort both.
There's the name of the episode right there. Gold showers. Works since the fucking place is all golden up. Right, we'll see you back in what, 10, 15 minutes?
For 10 minutes, yeah.
Good throats.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Boy. Just about.
Did he charge you $1,000?
Excellent. So this is back.
Hello, hello.
Oh, awesome.
Already
Never
right.
mind. Had my cold shower all ready to go.
Okay. So as you eventually make a you can vent after a while in the area in the pub. You eventually this woman walks in. You can see that she's a tall, slim, rather well built elven woman walks in. She's wearing a rather nice dress, but it looks slightly threadbare at places. She walks in, she comes into the bar. Bartenders kind of give her a nod, and she looks around and looks at the group of yous, three, a moment, and she starts walking over to the table, and she's like, "Ah, I hear yous are looking for my services."
It's not so
Not
much
exactly.
your services, it's information around one of your business associates from yesterday.
Oh well, we try and keep business and pleasure separate. Eh, what is it you're looking for? What information are you looking for?
Well, we understand that you were the last person to see, and I've forgotten his name,
Sahel.
Sahel, yesterday. The gentleman in question has been found dead, and we're just looking to find out where he's been, where he was going.
Oh well, oh, oh, he's dead. Oh well.
I do
Oh,
apologise that you have to find out this way.
so well,
Ian,
yep.
Ian, because I've kind of moseyed down, still keeping up invisibility, seeing this. Can I insight check her surprise?
You can, yes.
18.
Yeah, definitely looking at her, she does seem surprised the way she's acting. She looks and she's like, oh well, he was he was a very intriguing customer. Eh, we had a few encounters, but nothing nothing you could say that could lead to his demise. The last time I seen him, he was perfectly okay.
You say he was interesting? In what manner was he an interesting individual?
Oh, he had some bizarre tastes compared to most, but more of a bedroom taste than most.
At this point, I'm going to speak up. Have you ever had? And I'll go, ooh, and I drop invisibility, just appear in front of everyone. Um, did Quinjo ever mention? Sorry, not Quinjo. What was his name again? Sahar. Sahul. Thank you.
Sour.
Sahel. Horn.
Sahar. Yeah. Did he ever mention anything to do with crypt? I know that sounds very very vague. But something I'm going on a theory at the moment.
Eh, yes, actually, yes. And she kind of looks around to you, and she looks you up and down. She's like, yeah, he did mention something about one of his family crypts seemed to have been plundered or invaded. A few of the bodies were missing, and yeah, he did mention something about that. He seemed rather upset about it, but you know, that's not. We didn't really talk like that very much.
No, I fully understand. Just even that information alone is quite valuable. So thank you. And I'll look to the rest. I'll explain in a minute.
She's like, so, well. She looks at you and she's like, and you can kind of see she's a bit flustered, and she's like, well, eh, I don't know if, I don't know if I could do a group rate for all four of yous, but I could maybe like 2 at a time.
I'm quite alright, thank you.
You're the wrong species for me.
Oh, and she kind of looks at you and she's like, "Oh, I could organize of the same species. If that's what you're into."
Boy, man,
I
this place
suppose,
wants to get you laid. Like, fuck me.
I suppose you know any lesser demons of hell by any chance?
Not off the top of my head, but I could organize something.
Didn't know
I,
you knew my names.
I do know a succubus.
Nah. They're all want.
Yes, they are definitely want, but you know, if you can give them what they want, then they can always give you what you want.
Yes, but they always want more.
Absolutely. But don't we all want more?
Not always.
No.
Sometimes it's just about the right wants and needs.
Oh, well, I'm sure this place can deal with all your wants and needs.
I'm sorry, I feel right now. I feel really sorry for Connor listening to this. To listen to you talk about sexual desires.
Wait, okay, brother.
It's okay, there's a bit of a lag, so Connor's not got to this point yet. So don't feel sorry yet.
3, 2, 1.
You just hear him in the background go, come on!
But
No, don't.
Yeah, he's gone a bright shady red though.
And unsubscribe.
for you who don't know, Connor is a Mark's Cole's son. He's quite into D&D. But it's like, she's like, we can organize anything you wish. But yes, Sandhorn, he was in here the other night. He seemed rather upset. He kept going on about the fact that someone had violated his family crypt.
Considering when one dies, one is meant to have the final rest, and if that has been disturbed, then that is understandable as to why it would upset somebody.
Absolutely, but he didn't seem like the person who had a lot of family ties, but he seemed quite upset with this.
If
It's
he
You
kept
mentioned
something safe and secure there, then there's every possibility somebody discovered it and he didn't want it. And that's more about what he was upset at rather than the fact that his family burial site was disturbed.
Yes, I thought there was more to it. He just couldn't perform to his normal standard.
Happens to the best of us.
She kind of looks at you and she's like, I'm sure you could perform.
I've heard he does. Much better than our friend there.
What friend?
Pointing to the pointy.
Kind of looks at you and down. She's like, I'm sure he could perform if he required it.
Some of his
You
magic just is a little bit lackluster these days.
Hey. Right. So this is getting a little bit off topic now. So, anything other you maybe heard him speak of other than this upset or anything to do with the crypt, anything you might know at all?
Anything I might know? Make a persuasion check.
Oh fuck! Do I want to do this? Like, see, as I do this, like, am I? This is up to you, even if you want to allow this, since I've already asked. What I want to do is kind of get a bit of makeup on my thumb and just kind of like as I'm asking, almost rub it against her hand and cast friends again.
Okay.
Are you going to allow that?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that will give me advantage on this check since it's charisma.
Okay.
Right.
Make
Okay.
a sleight of hand check to hide your spell.
Sorry. What was it? Persuasion.
Yep.
Right. So first one with a -1, that's 6, and the second one 15.
15. So with 15, she kind of like moves over and she sits down next to you, and she kind of like flips her legs so like her legs are crossing each other, but also leaning over yours. And she looks at you and she's like, "We're good friends, aren't we?"
Of course.
Well, he had some different tastes from most people, but he was a good pair, and he was. It didn't. There was nothing much he wasn't a talkative person, but yes, he was very upset about these crypts. He he said that someone had violated his ancestors, had removed their eyes.
Interesting.
It put him off his game. She kind of like rolls her hand up your thigh.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Are you sure you're not playing a stereotypical bald?
Do you know what? I know it's hard for me not to do that Bard. And no,
Exactly. It is.
like I just want to be. I'm just trying to go for like woo, best girlfriend, not like girlfriend. Do you know what I mean? Like, but here I am where I am. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. And you obviously look quite awkward at this point, talking to the rest of the group. That makes sense considering how we found our gentleman in the street. Because I know this will sound horrible to hear, but Sahorn he also had his eyes removed when we found him, so it matches what's been happening to the family members in his crypt. Meaning, we have perhaps a killer who has something against the Burkind family line, maybe.
She's like, I don't see why. They're nothing but merchants. They deal with silks. They import and export silks.
Sometimes people see something they're not meant to,
Oh
and
well.
that's why they can have their eyes taken.
She turns around and looks at you and she's like, "Oh, I've seen many things I've not meant to see."
No.
I bet you have.
Is her hand
Just
getting
to,
further up my thigh as she's saying that?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I
is
knew it.
this
I knew it.
obvious?
Oh yes. Oh no, she's not hiding any of this.
Now,
Yeah,
my dear, I believe you are the wrong gender for him. He prefers something of the more masculine variety.
She's like, "Is
No,
that?"
no,
She looks at you.
no,
She's
no.
like, "Is that true?"
That's actually a bit presumptuous. No, this is incorrect.
She's like, "Are you sure?"
I'm sure, but I'm rather busy right now, and I'm sort of seeing someone, so I really shouldn't,
Seeing is such. If you see someone and they're there, then that's great. But if you try and see someone and they're not there,
Am I going to need cast invisibility again?
and she kind of like the hand strips up
Good,
further
it's
up your
good for
leg,
you.
and you kind of look at her and she like almost glimmers, and you can see the image changes, and she's almost like, well, a bit more. See the same features, but slightly masculated with a beard and things like that. She's like, "You can be anything you wish us to be."
Is she a fucking changeling?
Do you know? I need to get out and get some air. Excuse me, and I'm just going to kind of like muddle past everyone and sort of like awkwardly run outside.
And she kind of sits there and she leans back in the chair, and you can kind of see the image of her shimmer, and you can see the skin turns slightly red, and you can see the horns form over her head. And she looks at you and she's like, "What about you?" And she looks at you, Caleb. She's like, "What about you? Are you interested in some fun?"
Not this evening. Work calls first.
All work and no play makes you a very
And
dull boy.
it does. Unfortunately, I can't play like I normally do on this plane.
Oh, I'm sure we can find other ways for you to play.
Nothing beats the fleshly flayed skin on an open fire.
Oh, if that's what you wish, then I'm sure we can maybe organize something for you. But
Unfortunately, I have
nonetheless,
something to deal with first.
yes, as you have work to do, so do I. But yes, when I last spoke to him, he was wanting to try and organize some form of guards or something for his family crypt. But that was yesterday afternoon. I spoke to him. He was not in the mood for play.
Did he happen to say where his family crypt was?
Yes, his crypt's down below the city, as most crypts are. I'm sure. Well, I'm positive, and she kind of like looks at you and runs her hand up your leg, and she's like, I'm sure I could lead you there if you wish. Quite a few of my clients can enjoy the crypts.
Quite a few of your
This
clients
entire
have kind of strange tastes.
this entire session is just Ian trying to flop with the group.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could show you. A lot of my clients enjoy the crypts.
You see, I'm just trying to think. Dovo, you hear my voice come into your head because I've been taking this in because my owl's still on the table, so I'm just kind of seeing through them. So I've come back and you hear a voice in your head, and I wouldn't take up that offer if I were you. I can go to my tower and find any information we need without our help.
Whilst we deeply appreciate your offer, if happenings have been going on there that has defiled a grave, then we couldn't in good conscience put you in something that would possibly put you in danger.
Well, that's absolutely fine if that's the way you feel. And she kind of stands up and she's like, well, I'm sure there's plenty of other patrons in here who would pay for my talents and my skills. I hope you all have a lovely evening in your large circle fun.
We deeply appreciate your time, as I just slide a gold over towards her.
So, of course, if she like, leans out and runs her hand down your face and she's like, if you enjoyed my time, then it's always welcome for a tip. And she kind of
Just
says,
the tip of the whole thing.
well, that depends on how much you're willing to pay.
Elkan's currently like leaned in onto the table counting coins.
Okay, what she looks at you and she's like, what would you be into? What would you want?
I wasn't asking for me. I'm going to take a piss. See you later and walk out.
And she kind of looks at you and she's like, oh, well. She gets up and she's like, well, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. But I have to return to work. She kind of gets away and walks towards the bar. You can constantly see the little bartender coming across with more drinks and putting them down on the table. And he's like, anything else I can get for you?
No, we're absolutely fine.
Okay, not a problem. Hey, great. And he gets up and runs away. What would you like to do?
I guess sees how the other two have left. It seems only fair that we do.
We'll find her.
So I'll go and find our pointy-eared Nancy boy friend.
He's
So,
fabulous.
after a bit of time, you all eventually meet back up outside. Now, you know the city has some crypts underneath it. They tend to be for dignitaries or royals or well-known families. Most of the general day-to-day people don't have very many crypts or have crypts or such like tend to take them out or burn them in funeral pyres, but some of the well-to-dos do have crypts in this area. And they're quite common, quite well known. But you eventually head to one of the mausoleums. You know, the mausoleum has like a left heading down into the crypt section of the city underneath it. That's where you wish to head, or if there's anything else you want to do first.
What time is it? Because I know we went out to the forest and then came back and stuff like that.
It's late evening. It's almost about 7, 8 o'clock at night.
It may be best to start off in the morning.
I wouldn't think so.
We're going underground in the dark. The daylight matters not.
Well, at the daylight you'll be able to see more, but if anything's going to be happening in this space, you imagine it would be happening towards the evening, like under the cover of darkness. So I think we'd be potentially missing on something that could be happening here, even if we just look the place out. If I'm outvoted, I'm outvoted, but it's worth putting on the inverse.
I don't mind either way.
You never do.
That's fair.
Provided one of you is happy to hold the lantern, then that should be fine.
I guess we're going to the crypt then. But not knowing which crypt it is, that's going to be the problem first off.
Well, I mean, I don't know, Devol, if you... I hope you got my message anyway. I can go to my tower, do a quick bit of investigation, and then I'm sure I'll be able to find almost a map to exactly where we need to go.
In that case, I would do so now.
Everyone take a note.
Don't we know the guy's name? Can we just... We know the guy's name, we could just ask the groundskeeper.
We could do, but that's assuming the groundskeeper's around. It's 7 in the evening.
I'm sure there'll be a priest or something around.
I'm more than happy to do that.
Well, can each of you at this point make a Constitution saving throw for me?
Ooh.
Dex.
My roll. 11.
16!
Yay!
Okay, so we've got a 6, an 8, an 11, and a 16, and...
That's it.
We're waiting for one more.
No, 6, 8, 11, and 16. That's what it is.
Oh, so it is. Yep. Sorry. So, Ridgewalker, though, and Cinderforge, each of you are standing there, and it's almost like you've been hit by a wave. Almost like you're caught on the edge of a shock wave. Absolute dark, black magic. You feel the edge of this hit you. Each of you lose the ability to see. You're all blinded.
Okay.
Caleb, you're fine. But as you look around Caleb, you look at the town around you, you can see people screaming. People are clawing at their eyes. They're beginning to pull things apart. They begin to like claw at their own eyes. Their skin's bleeding. They're ripping out their own eyes. And the whole city seems to be in a state of madness. Your 3 companions seem to have locked up completely. They're standing there. Doll is standing there. He's completely still. Ridgewalker is the same. He's standing there, absolutely not moving. Cinderforge is actually reaching up and begin to claw his own face, try to pull out his eyes as there's almost a nightmare. And after a second or two, it all seems to have passed. But as you look around, you can see there's dead bodies lying on the ground. People are like lying dead. Blood down their faces is leaked out their eyes, their nose, their ears. You look at your party, you can see there's blood coming out of their nose, and out of their eyes, and out of their ears.
Oh, what's happened?
Let's just put it this way. This isn't just an easy murder, shall we say. Look at the victims around. They were all clawing their own eyes out. Yous are bleeding from your nose. Yous all froze up for a moment there. Did
How
yous...
are you not affected?
I'm not sure. Maybe the power of my god helped save me.
Okay, Doc,
Do you know,
can you take a D4 of damage? So you take a D4 of damage,
Yeah, so take one.
and Calum, you take a D8 of damage.
do you mean me?
Sorry, no, sorry, yeah, Ardrell,
Why I got a D8? Fuck's sake.
because you got the worst.
7.
Got a D4, rolled a 1.
A cheeky 2 for me.
Do you know what? Wait, hold on a second. If something like this happened, this was clearly a spell that was cast. I didn't hear it, so obviously we couldn't count a spell or anything, but that will have a perimeter. Ridgewalker, can you hold me for a moment? And I'm just going to kind of go limp in Ridgewalker's arms, and Oxford's going to fly out my pocket. I'm going to see through my owl, and I'm going to just try and...
I don't catch him.
Okay, so
Well, I've just leaned against you. You need to step away and be an asshole.
As you're doing this, I'm just going to turn her into purple guy. I'm going to turn her into purple guy and go,
Purple person.
purple person, sorry. Did you see what way that came from?
Well, it waved over us.
Yeah, which direction?
I'm not sure. We've come out the door, Ian.
Yep.
So as we've come out, on the right hand side, there was 2 guys down at the side of the alleyway there.
Yep.
Go and check on them.
They also seem to be lying on the ground, semi-unconscious. Blood
They're not
pouring from
dead.
there. Nope, they don't seem to be dead, but they seem to be like semi-unconscious.
Right, I'll lay on hands 1 point of health to each of them.
Okay. They seem to kind of begin to get themselves like back together, and they're lying on the ground and I look up and like, what was that?
I believe that is a spell that was cast and has affected a number of people.
And you can hear up in the distance, you can hear screaming. You can hear the shouts of pain and agony in the distance of the town. But make me a perception roll.
While he's making that roll, I'm also doing a casing with my owl to see if anyone's running or like seeing any, I don't know, anyone that's looking kind of guilty. So is it okay if I roll one as well for the owl?
Yep.
Do I get advantage on this?
Oh, wow.
If it's with
Yeah.
you have keen sight.
Oh,
Yeah, my owl's keen hearing and sight, so I get advantage on perception checks.
Okay. Yep.
And it's a +3 on the perception. So
That is impressive, Mark.
Yeah,
I
that's
have never
impressive.
seen a 0.
was it done?
You
Rolled
rolled a
a
0.
1 with a -1.
Right. Well, I've rolled
That
2
is
5s.
0.
I've rolled 2 5s plus a 3, so 8.
So with
No,
your
you rolled-
8, as your arrow flies across the city, you can see this has almost affected everybody in the city. People lying on the ground, there's blood pouring down their face, people are screaming in agony. Some people seem to be affected more than others. There's people like breaking out into rage, they're smashing down things, there's hitting people, there's fights breaking out across the whole city. But it seems almost as like though you've been hit by a shockwave of some form of energy. Seems to spread out across the city.
So
Ian, that's a good point. Would I have even had my owl? Would that have been popped away?
Your arrow, you can travels with you most of the time, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing you can pop it out anytime you want, unless you've actually said you're putting it away. I'll say it's with
No.
you.
What more mean is like he's got 1 hit point. If I took damage, like on that, like because obviously it's just a familiar. He's just kind of like sitting in my little kind of like.
Well,
If you-
can you make me a Constitution saving throw for your owl,
Yep. Mm.
and that'll
Goodbye,
decide.
Like, and then that'll. Yeah, no, it's 4. Like, Owl's gone.
Yep. So owl's gone, but
Yeah, so I didn't do that check.
but you get a feeling as you look around. You can tell the fact that people seem to be extremely affected by this. Some people seem to be screaming in anger. Other people seem to be like dropping to the ground crying, blood tears down their face. You can see there's people falling to the ground almost. You can almost tell is dead. All you seem to be taking some kind of damage apart from Calum. Seems to be standing there absolutely fine.
So, as a player, did Calum get any sense of which direction the shockwave came from? Was it a visible shockwave, or was it just a feeling?
It was more of a feeling, and with a absolute 0, you can't tell which direction it came from.
I believe we need to get reporting in on this. Try and
Maybe.
get the extent of it.
We just got ready to be somebody with 11 people on Twitch.
We just got what?
We just got raided on Twitch, so we've got 11 people coming in. So, hi folks.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Hello there. I did not know a raid party
With
was a thing.
with 7 minutes left of the show. Yes,
Oh boy.
right on time. Hello.
But Calum,
Well,
can you roll me an intelligence roll?
A great time.
And let's hopefully you do better than.
I can't do any worse than 0.
14.
14. So with that, you're looking around, you can see the effects of people being affected beside you. You see the effects of your party members as they're all standing there with blood running down their face, out their eyes, out their nose, out their ears. And you look around, you can kind of see, you kind of get the feeling that it washed across you. And you were facing towards the entrance to the crypts. You know, it's a large elevator that leads down below the city. But you get the feeling it's coming almost from there. But yeah.
By what limited information I know about magics that take large effects, believe the crypts are probably a good place to start.
it seems like we just need to go there now, as opposed to later.
So let's go then and start walking towards crypts.
So as you start walking towards the crypt, you can see the large like mausoleum. As you step into the mausoleum, you can see a platform that you stand on, and it slowly starts lowering you down below the city. And eventually, after about 10-15 minutes of heading downwards, deeper and deeper below the city, it opens up into a tunnel. You see there's a torches lit on each wall in front of you. And you can hear, in fact, all these make me a perception roll. These are all heading down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
7.
nice. Natural 23.
Perception. Fuck me, Merle. Oh, wait, no, that's a 9. 13 for me.
Okay, so everybody
No.
over 15,
Fuck.
you
Nope.
can hear very far off in the distance, almost like a chanting, a voice echoing. It's a language you've never heard before, but you can hear this voice echoing in the distance. You can hear it echoing down different tunnels, things like that. But y- y- in front of you, there's only a single tunnel. You can hear this voice, and as you head down the tunnel, it splits into multiple tunnels, but definitely to the left, you can hear this almost echoingly hum of a chant in distance.
Eyes open, boys. We're not alone down here.
Wait, I can't hear anything.
Trust me.
I trust you. You've never really led us too far astray.
I'll take the lead.
On you go.
Draw my grey axe and start heading down that tunnel.
So, as you head further down...
I'll go just behind.
Okay. So you start heading down the tunnel. Eventually, after a good 200-300 meters, you eventually exit out into what looks like a large room. You can see a podium in the middle of the room, almost like a bench or what's the proper word for it? Almost like a crypt or
Sarcophagus.
sarcophagus, yes, with candles burning all around. And you can see a small man. You can hear the chanting coming from him. And he turns, stops, and turns around and looks at you, and he's like, "Ah, so he's arrived. That's good. More to add to the army." And I think we'll end it there.
Nice.
See before we go, I was just going to ask one question. But is he a halfling?
Well, we'll find it next week. We'll find out in 2 weeks' time.
Cool.
Find out next time.
Awesome. Well, for all the people that joined in the raid, hello. It's nice to have you. Please do come back. Just to kind of, obviously, since we've got more people here now, just to kind of touch on some of the things I said before we got started in the episode, we are doing kind of like a shift in our games every week. So next week we'll be playing Pulp Cthulhu. Please do come along if you want to see that game, because it's good fun. And we'll be playing this game again in 2 weeks' time. But for everyone in the chat, thank you very much for coming along. And obviously, thanks to all the players. And we'll see you next week.
And follow us on YouTube on Dice and Dangerous.
Yes, please do. All the socials should be linked below, and if they're not, they'll be on one of our other episodes.
Well, thank you, and I will speak to you later.
Have a good one,
see you later,
guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye.